sincere supporters. You know who you are and where you come from. Local, passionate, undeniably Canadian. You are the soul, heartbeat, substance, community. This is for you with gratitude. Made in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. So go forth, grow your ranks, and get stuck in.
The biggest moments in Canadian soccer stream on One Soccer. Men's and women's national teams, TELUS Canadian Championships, Canadian Premier League. The biggest stage, the fiercest battles. Plus, get pre- and post-match analysis and all the highlights anytime. Because wherever you go, One Soccer goes with you. One Soccer, the home of Canadian soccer. Start streaming at onesoccer.ca. For too long, we've been told that greatness comes from somewhere else. Sorry, that ends now. We are the Canadian Premier League, proudly built for you and by you across this sovereign land, ready to take on the beautiful game on our terms. We may be young, but give us time and underestimate us at your peril. We'll keep grinding until everyone knows exactly who we are. Rosters filled with homegrowns, Canadian kids who just needed a chance, with dreams as vast as our horizons, made right here in Canada, for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. We are the Canadian Premier League. Get stuck in.
I'm good.
Think back to when Canada was a soccer country without its own league, without a place to develop and showcase our own players, or a space where fans could sing their songs and hold their scarves high and show their true colors in their own hometowns. Getting the Canadian Premier League off the ground had to happen for Canada to co-host the 2026 World Cup. But the time was right for the sport and for the country. What's happened since is proof. 8 Canadian teams with passionate supporters playing the world's game and punching far above their weight. There have been a few bumps along the way, including a global pandemic on the eve of the second season. But while some larger sports organizations shut down entirely in the face of COVID, the CPL found a way to play on with the innovative Island Games. When the world got back to normal, CPL supporters returned to the stands, and wave upon wave of young Canadian players began to make their mark. Despite its short history and modest origins, the CPL was not to be underestimated. Consider some recent history. Last year, 2 CPL teams beat MLS teams. The huge disparity in payroll didn't matter when it came to what happened on the pitch. And then, in the first months of 2025, reigning CPL champs Cavalry FC made history, beating Pumas, one of the traditional Big Four in Mexico's Liga MX, in the CONCACAF Champions League. Those were remarkable team achievements that were mirrored on the player side, where CPL alumni have been steadily moving up the international ranks. There's Brampton's Kwesi Poku, who last season went from Forge FC to Belgium's RWD Molenbeek for a CPL record transfer fee, and soon after became the latest present or former CPL player to be capped with Canada's men's national team. And then there's brilliant young keeper Emil Gazdov, who joined Pacific FC as a 16-year-old and this year signed with CF Montreal of MLS and joined their first team. There will be more, many more, where they came from. Canadian talent nurtured right here at home. And now, Season 7 is set to kick off, with the World Cup a little more than a year away. It couldn't be more clear. This is our country. This is our game. And this is our league.
Dear supporters, you know who you are and where you come from. Local, passionate, undeniably Canadian. You are the soul, heartbeat, substance, community. This is for you with gratitude. Made in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here, so go forth, grow your ranks, and get stuck in.
The biggest moments in Canadian soccer stream on One Soccer. Men's and women's national teams, TELUS Canadian Championships, Canadian Premier League.
It is absolute bedlam at the ground.
The biggest stage, the fiercest battles. Plus, get pre- and post-match analysis and all the highlights anytime. Because wherever you go, One Soccer goes with you. One Soccer, the home of Canadian soccer. Start streaming at onesoccer.ca. For too long, we've been told that greatness comes from somewhere else. Sorry, that ends now. We are the Canadian Premier League, proudly built for you and by you across this sovereign land, ready to take on the beautiful game on our terms. We may be young, but give us time and underestimate us at your peril. We'll keep grinding until everyone knows exactly who we are. Rosters filled with homegrowns, Canadian kids who just needed a chance, with dreams as vast as our horizons, made right here in Canada, for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. We are the Canadian Premier League. Get stuck in.
Sorry now, I'm good.
Think back to when Canada was a soccer country without its own league, without a place to develop and showcase our own players, or a space where fans could sing their songs and hold their scarves high and show their true colors in their own hometowns. Getting the Canadian Premier League off the ground had to happen for Canada to co-host the 2026 World Cup. But the time was right for the sport and for the country. What's happened since is proof. 8 Canadian teams with passionate supporters playing the world's game and punching far above their weight. There have been a few bumps along the way, including a global pandemic on the eve of the second season. But while some larger sports organizations shut down entirely in the face of COVID, the CPL found a way to play on with the innovative Island Games. When the world got back to normal, CPL supporters returned to the stands, and wave upon wave of young Canadian players began to make their mark. Despite its short history and modest origins, the CPL was not to be underestimated. Consider some recent history. Last year, 2 CPL teams beat MLS teams. The huge disparity in payroll didn't matter when it came to what happened on the pitch. And then, in the first months of 2025, reigning CPL champs Cavalry FC made history, beating Pumas, one of the traditional Big Four in Mexico's Liga MX, in the CONCACAF Champions League. Those were remarkable team achievements that were mirrored on the player side, where CPL alumni have been steadily moving up the international ranks. There's Brampton's Kwesi Poku, who last season went from Forge FC to Belgium's RWD Molenbeek for a CPL record transfer fee, and soon after became the latest present or former CPL player to be capped with Canada's men's national team. And then there's brilliant young keeper Emil Gazdov, who joined Pacific FC as a 16-year-old and this year signed with CF Montreal of MLS and joined their first team. There will be more, many more, where they came from. Canadian talent nurtured right here at home. And now, Season 7 is set to kick off, with the World Cup a little more than a year away. It couldn't be more clear. This is our country. This is our game. And this is our league.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium for this afternoon's League One Ontario U20 Summer Division Championship Final between the North Toronto Nitros and the Woodbridge Strikers. I'm Nicholas Fiore, commentator for League One Ontario, having the pleasure bringing you this call live on the League One Ontario YouTube. You see, these young ladies and athletes are walking out onto the pitch in anticipation of raising a trophy in a couple hours' time. North Toronto, Woodbridge. The route to get here wasn't easy. North Toronto, 35 points in first place. Woodbridge, 33 points in second place in the Northeast Division. And that's exactly where they will end off today. A rivalry from the Northeast Division to the championship final. Next is O Canada, here at the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium. Canadian National Anthem complete. And we're just about to get underway here for this Women's Under-20 Summer Division Final between the North Toronto Nitros and the Woodbridge Strikers. It surely will be a much-anticipated battle between the two, considering this past regular season, they finished first and second. North Toronto defeated Woodbridge 3-2 on May 21st. Then Woodbridge defeated North Toronto 4-3 on June 30th. The season series is 1-1. Who is going to get the grudge match in the championship match this afternoon? North Toronto defeated Burlington 2-1 in the semifinals to get to this final. Woodbridge defeated Hamilton United 5-0 in the semifinal to get to the elusive championship final. It's been a good year for Woodbridge. If you recognize my voice, yes, I'm the voice of the Woodbridge Strikers in League One, but the Strikers have had a terrific 2025 campaign, fielding 7 League One Ontario teams, 3 of them in the finals in the U20 divisions, men and women, and in the League 2 women's division, which will go tomorrow here at the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium. And, of course, the men's premier division, currently 7 points up, I should say, in first place above Scrosapi with 4 games remaining, 3 after this weekend, as they look for their first men's championship in the premier division. 2 other teams finishing second, finishing third. And, of course, the women's in the Premier for Women's, not the greatest this season, but needless to say, this Woodbridge team want to start the championship weekend in League One Ontario on the right foot. They are the first ones to get going for Woodbridge in the U20s women division, and then the men's are later today at 7, tomorrow League 2. Meanwhile, for North Toronto, their women's Premier Division team is currently in first place as we speak, if you're watching live here on Saturday, August 2nd in the afternoon. But the Simcoe County Rovers can win that one with a win against Vaughan today. And DC Ontario's around as well. Why I say this is because there is a pipeline here for North Toronto that is clearly something in a positive manner, as you see a few Premier Division players eligible for the U20 team. Here's how North Toronto will go and line up. Goalkeeper number 51, Paisley Pennington. Number 2, Ruby Magic. Number 7, Elise Bell. Number 16, Ashley Greco. Number 25, Maya Russell. Number 48, Julia Casina. Number 52, Amelia Kazam. Number 53, Paige Bryant. Captain number 56, Katie McMullen. Number 58, Caitlin Yeep. And number 59, Sienna Saluri. For the Woodbridge Strikers, goalkeeper number 70, Angela Volpe. Number 2, Maya Robinson. Number 7, Brianna Lascano. Number 8, Ava Villapando. Number 9, Maya Shinanovich. Number 12, Brooklyn Lupinacci. Captain number 14, Tamara Lisser. Number 15, Jade Aruda. Number 16, Cassandra Genova. Number 17, Olivia Pelleteri. And number 19, Alexis Cordero. That is how the two teams will line up and start in this championship final. It should be a good one. A highly anticipated battle. First place North Toronto meets second place Woodbridge Strikers in the U20 League One Ontario Summer Division Championship match at the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center. I'm Nicholas Fiore, and it's a pleasure to bring you this call here this afternoon live on the League One Ontario YouTube. Woodbridge and Ava Villapando, who's had Premier Division experience, is going to start us off and kick us off. The captain, Tamara Lisser, has played with the Premier Division for Woodbridge all season long. Will that play dividends? Whistle goes by the match official, Michaela Pisani, and we are underway in this U20 Women's Championship match in League One Ontario. The Nitros will look to control the early play. Kazam on the near side. She goes back to the center back, who will then swing that ball in Bryant. She goes from the far side. And North Toronto enjoying the early possession here after a Woodbridge kickoff. Around the back line, Russell finds the interchange pass. That's not a foul. Shot coming in. Oh my goodness. The North Toronto coach, Dare O'Brien, wants a foul in the middle of the park as they're saying Villapando pushed over Julia Casina. I may have to agree with the head coach that time, but luckily for North Toronto, the shot goes wayward from Villapando, and Woodbridge don't capitalize on an early miscue or opportunity. North Toronto controlling. It's Woodbridge who are pressing. That goes out into touch off of Brooklyn Lupinacci. Head coach Michael Petrasso for this Woodbridge side, looking to steer his team to a championship. Woodbridge now looking for possession. Here on the near side, Maya Chinanovic keeps it in. Great work from the 08, who's had some Premier Division experience as well this season, getting called up by head coach Gabe Cremonesi for the Woodbridge women. But it's North Toronto once again enjoying the possession, looking to maneuver. Here come North Toronto looking to scourge something forward. Right now, it is the Nitros enjoying possession, and this time a foul called against Woodbridge. Quickly taken. And Woodbridge clearing lines. No push from behind, and I would have to agree with that. Going over a little bit too easily there. Here's Maya Chinanovic for Woodbridge. That's off a boot, and then Aruda picks it up. That's a heavy touch. She loses it to Kazam. Kazam will play it back, and that's a good ball from Russell across. Here's the captain maneuvering, and that's Katie McMullen. McMullen now plays it aside. That's a good ball through. Magic finds Elise Bell. Bell, who's been scoring a lot for the Premier Division side for North Toronto, gets that one into touch for a North Toronto corner kick. Delivery is short, cleared by Lisser, and now out by Woodbridge. Can they counter here? Good touch down to Chinanovic. Chinanovic onto it. She finds Eva Villapando, the Philippine international, looking to make the play in the middle of the park. Villapando will go long. It's a good idea there with the dummy play, almost working out from Alexis Cordero as she was trying to find her winger in Brooklyn Lupinacci. That's out into touch. And a throw-in for North Toronto. Back and forth here. It's the Nitros enjoying majority of the possession, but it's Woodbridge who are attacking a little bit more furiously in the first 5 minutes of the match. To the goalkeeper, Paisley Pennington. She'll find Russell. That's Bryant, I should say. Bryant now finds Kazam. It's a good ball forward. Aruda caught out. Here is Kazam. Aruda tracking. That's off the boot of Aruda. She's got to avoid a corner. She does, and she pokes it out into touch for Nitro's throw. Here's Bryant. In the middle of the park. To Casina. She'll go back to the center back, and Russell and Maya Russell will swing it, finding Ruby Magic. Here is Caitlin Yeep. Yeep going around Aruda. That's not a foul, but it kind of looked like it might have been. That's undetected again. And here is Chinanovic. Here is Chinanovic looking for real estate forward. Didn't really have any runners picking out. And that goes off of Kazam into touch for a Woodbridge throw. Aruda finds Maya Chinanovic. That goes out into touch off of Kazam again. Amelia Kazam. And into touch for another Woodbridge throw-in. Aruda to Brooklyn Lupinacci. Back to Aruda. Aruda avoids a man, tries to cross it, and that's not going to come in. And another call where it looks like it might have been off of Aruda for a goal kick, but it's out for a corner. Corner kick for Woodbridge. Can they capitalize on their first set piece of the match? The delivery is a good one by Piliteri. Comes to the edge of the area. Villapando, first touch, cuts back inside. Now Tamara Lisser releases, and that's blocked in front. And cleared for Maya Robinson to jump onto it. Robinson back to Volpe. Woodbridge maintaining possession now. Here's Lascano, Brianna Lascano. Gives it to her teammate on the far side, but then giving it away. That time was Cassandra Genova. Aruda looking long, finds Lupinacci, and Lupinacci to nobody. Or that's Cordero coming in. Alexis Cordero was looking for the interchange with Chinanovic. She's up high on the pitch with also Olivia Piliteri. And now that ball sent long for the Nitros. Looking for Elise Bell. And Bell keeps it in around Lisser very neatly. Picked up by Genova. Genova to Maya Robinson. Robinson swings the ball and she finds Jada Aruda. Aruda looking. Now finding Eva Villapando, the Philippine international, looking for real estate up the pitch. Villapando looking for a connection. She doesn't find one. Now she will in Maya Chinanovic. Chinanovic looks to drop it off to Aruda. Aruda to Alexis Cordero. That's a loose touch, and it's given away to the Nitros. Fantastic body from Olivia Piliteri, getting the ball away from Caitlin Yee. And now it's Elise Bell onto it. Now lays it off for Cassina. Cassina looking forward. It's out of the reach. And Tamara Lisser will let it go to the keeper for Angela Volpe to collect. Tamara Lisser now carrying. Lisser's got a big boot. She goes long with it. Controlled by the Nitros into touch for a North Toronto throw-in. Here come the Nitros now controlling possession at the back line. Here's Yeep. Yeep finding some movement, trying to thread it through the channel. Through ball doesn't pan out, and it's controlled by Volpe. Here's Robinson looking for an outstretched ball, given away to the Nitros. North Toronto looking forward, aerialed up, and Robinson, a miscue. A chance maybe for Bell to jump onto it. Tamara Lisser is there first, and she goes back to Volpe. Bouncing ball, she clears her lines. Error there from the Woodbridge center back, almost caused havoc for the Strikers. Good work. Lupinacci finds Aruda. Aruda goes long again, but nobody there. Picked up by Ava Villapando. Villapando goes long. This time a ball that looks to be won by Alexis Cordero. Cordero gets up. She doesn't draw. Here's Pelletieri looking for it. Now Ava Villapando gives it away to the captain of North Toronto, and now clearing lines with Casina. Here's Tamara Lisser looking for Brianna Lascano, and Lascano will just go backwards to Angela Volpe. 12 minutes into this championship match in the U20 Women's Summer Division. It's North Toronto Nitros 0, Woodbridge Strikers 0. Aruda losing the ball for Woodbridge to Yeep, and then she gets it back and goes back to the center back, Maya Robinson. You're watching live on the League One Ontario YouTube for this championship from ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium on Nicholas Ferrer, League One commentator, having the pleasure of bringing you this commentary this afternoon. Corner kick now, as that was into touch from North Toronto's Amelia Kazam, and another corner kick set piece getting set up by Ava Villapando and Woodbridge. So some repairs have to be made here from North Toronto Nitro. And this corner kick will be taken. The deliveries are going for Villapando, back post headed! And just goes over top of the goal by Alexis Cordero. A massive opportunity for Woodbridge, but they can't capitalize. A huge opportunity for the Strikers, but they couldn't strike on that corner. It was a brilliant delivery from the Philippine international, Ava Villapando. But that time just over top of the goal. And Paisley Pennington counts her blessings early on. That goes into touch. North Toronto will take the throw in with Kazam on the near side. So the player getting some repairs has to change her jersey due to some blood on her jersey. Looks like that could be Sienna Saru, who has to change her jersey. And now, or that could actually be the captain, because I don't see an armband. Yeah, I believe that was the captain. Some blood in the ear, so she had to change the jersey. And the captain, Katie McMullen, is now wearing number 11 in the middle of the park for North Toronto. Here's Pelletieri. She loses the ball, and a chance here for the Nitros coming the other way. Casina, we're trying to release, and Elise Bell getting fouled. Toronto Nitros will get a free kick. They look to take it quickly. Woodbridge not advised to it. Lister has to head her away. And now the Nitros don't get that set piece panned out. If I was them, I would just try to put that in the penalty area. But they try to catch Woodbridge sleeping on the quick free kick taken. Looking to clear was Brooklyn Lupinacci. And now it's back as the Nitros look to maintain possession. Chance here for Villapando looking to take. Instead, here's Bryant. Bryant has a chance maybe to shoot. She'll lay it off. It's a good ball. It's off of Chinanovic, and she saves the corner and it goes into touch for a throw-in for the Nitros. "17 minutes in, scoreless in this Women's U20 Championship final between Woodbridge and North Toronto. Villapando looks to steal. The captain now maneuvering away is Mick Mullen, and the Woodbridge captain Lister with an intervention. That goes out into touch for a Nitros throw. North Toronto on the front foot now, enjoying majority of the possession the last few minutes. Here is Elise Bell. Bell lays it off. The delivery comes in. It's good for Yeep. Trying to get onto it, away from Aruda. Second opportunity goes away. Looking for Brooklyn Lupinacci. Woodbridge looks to clear. Bryant finds Russell. Russell now plays it across. Nitro's looking in. Taken instead by Brooklyn Lupinacci, and now into touch for a North Toronto throw once again. Robinson. Tough defending there. The Nitro forward bottle was over way too easily. That's not going to be called. And now it's Russell to Kazam. Better from North Toronto. Kazam finds Yeep. Robinson on her defensively for Woodbridge. Yeep does well. Robinson does better there. Pokes it out into touch for a throw-in for the Nitros. Now Maya Robinson feeling some after effects here for Woodbridge. So with Robinson down, both teams are taking an opportunity to get a quick water break. Obviously, you might as well. I mean, with a player down, it's a hot day here in Woodbridge, Ontario. 27 degrees. I'm Nicholas Fiore, League One commentator, bringing you this play-by-play on the League One YouTube for the Women's League One Ontario U20 Summer Championship Final. North Toronto Nitros, who finished first place in the U20 Northeast Division with 35 points, are taking on the Woodbridge Strikers, who finished second place in the Northeast Division with 33 points. These teams basically went 1-1 in the regular season. Woodbridge 4-3 victors on June 30th. North Toronto 3-2 victors on May 21st. So with 20 minutes in, looks like we may have the cooling break after all here, with the injury included. So a bit of an extended one, per se, here for the water break, cooling break. I would say both teams are pretty even, back and forth. Who knows if this match is going to go to the distance in the sense of PKs? Who knows if this match, if one team puts a goal in, will the floodgates open? It could go really so many ways and so many different directions, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So we've had our first half cooling break, it seems to be. Maya Robinson looks to be okay and not injured for Woodbridge, so that's a positive for the triple Azzurri blue going from left to right. Meanwhile, North Toronto in the white, black, white going from right to left. Throw and taken, then a pass through the channel on the near side, blocked off by Aruda, and it will be a goal kick for Volpe and Woodbridge. Long ball. A chance here for Woodbridge. Cordero pressing and clearing are the Nitros. Coming in, Pennington has to come out to claim, and she does for North Toronto. Long ball away. Here's Tamara Lisser with a lot of experience in the Premier Division for Woodbridge this year. Bringing it down neatly is Cassandra Genova. Genova, neat turn. Then she finds a teammate in the channel. And here's Aruda. Aruda looking long, but not connecting. And now, long ball. Woodbridge have to deal with it. Here's Lisser, who does. And then she finds the number 7 in the pocket in Brianna Lascano. Lascano to Pelletieri. Pelletieri trying to thread the needle through right down Main Street. Couldn't that time. And the captain jumps onto it again. She's wearing number 17 now, the captain, in Katie McMullen. As her number 56 jersey got a little blood on it. She's all good, though. Bryant on the near side, looking for the interchange play. She then finds Julia Cassina in the pocket, who'll swing it across. And here's Cassina again. Turned over to Ava Villapando. Villapando sends Alexis Cordero. Cordero then sends Ava Villapando. There's a chance here for Woodbridge. Brian tracks back. Here's Villapando. Pelletieri. Oh, there was a chance for Woodbridge, and it really doesn't come to fruition, but it comes right back for Pelletieri. She's in. She toe pokes in. Score! Olivia Pelletieri in the 25th minute. Mamma mia, what a shot, what a goal. And the Woodbridge Strikers strike first, pun intended, here in the U20 Women's Championship match. It's 1-0 Woodbridge. Are they feeling the vibe this afternoon? What a goal. Olivia Pelletieri strikes for Woodbridge. And they're up 1-0. Mamma mia, what a play. They used the counterattack. They brought it a little bit back, and then right down that left flank, Woodbridge taking an early lead courtesy of Olivia Pelletieri in this championship final. Your finish doesn't always have to be pretty, but it has to be perfect, and that was a perfect shot with a toe poke in the top of the net. No chance for Paisley Pennington. A beautiful finish from Olivia Pelletieri, and the Woodbridge Strikers have a 1-0 lead in this Women's U20 Championship match. I would say Woodbridge have been the more threatening team offensively. Bryant looking, Aruda stealing. Aruda's got some numbers here. Villapando can go, but it's just out of the reach. The play could have been to Cordero. Then Cordero plays the channel through Villapando. 1-0 Woodbridge. You're watching League One Ontario U20 Summer Division Championship match here at the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium. I'm Nicholas Fiore, broadcaster for League One Ontario, having a pleasure bringing this call. Moments ago in the 25th minute, it's number 17, Olivia Pelletieri, who strikes for Woodbridge. Toe poking that one into the top of the net. Past Pennington, who just couldn't get her hands onto. And just like that, the Strikers strike halfway through the first half, and it's 1-0 in this final. Genova looking. No substitutions yet for either side. Woodbridge looking to take it forward. Great first touch by Lascano. To Lisser. Genova, now back to Lisser. Robinson going long, looking for the switch of play. That doesn't come to fruition. There was time there for Woodbridge. Didn't have to force the issue, and that goes out into touch, though, for a Woodbridge throw. Will it even go out? No, it won't, and Lisser will keep it in. She has time anyways. North Toronto now down 1 goal. It's an interesting tactic. They're just sitting back. I guess they don't want to concede more. You can see 4 at the back. Now turns into a 5 with 2 center mids now in front of the defenders. Chinanovic looking for Villapando. And that goes into touch off of Bryant. Aruda. Misplaced header by Bryant. Villapando taken down, and lucky for Bryant, it's not a caution. I agree with the Woodbridge coaches. That should be a yellow card, and I think Bryant's getting away with it. Oh, it is going to be a caution. In the 29th minute, a yellow card issued to number 53, Paige Bryant for North Toronto Nitros. So Bryant with the first caution of this final, and a dangerous set-piece free kick for Woodbridge. The Philippine international Eva Villapando will stand over top of the free kick. An opportunity here for Woodbridge to strike. Goes in from Villapando, back post, headed back into the area, Aruda! And pushed away by Pennington. They wanted to be across the line, and they're not going to get the call, does Woodbridge. I think Pennington got a hand on it just in time. Aruda had a chance to double Woodbridge's tally, and she probably is going to want that one back. An opportunity going begging there for the Strikers, looking to strike in consecutive fashion. Villapando. Aruda. Looking for Villapando. Touch there. In the pocket to the goal scorer, Pelletieri. Olivia Pelletieri to Jade Aruda. Aruda with the delivery, and it's a good one. Lupinacci. Now a shot is wayward, though, from Woodbridge, and taking the sting out of the attack. Not the greatest of hits that time, but Woodbridge definitely maintaining and controlling possession here as Loscano goes wayward with the shot. 30 minutes in. 1-0 Woodbridge in this championship match. The U20 Summer Division in League One Ontario. Woodbridge could have a fantastic day with the men and women's in U20 division finals. They also could have a fantastic weekend with the women's in the League Two final tomorrow. It sure would be something. Substitution upcoming for North Toronto. Here's the captain, Katie McCullum. McMullen, I should say. McMullen now across. She goes out to Magic. The delivery comes in. Bell headers. And that goes over top of the goal. A chance for Elise Bell goes begging for North Toronto as they look to equalize this match in the 32nd minute. Bryant wins it. Then taken by the goal scorer who gave it away, that time in Pilitary. Looks like Talia Salvador will be entering the match, number 34 for North Toronto. Here's Bryant. She'll move it all the way across for Ruby Magic. That's a good combination. Bell wants it back. She's not going to get it back. And a chance here for Woodbridge to maybe counter. 2v4. Villalpando. Look at that play. Does well, and then gives it away. She did so well to maintain it, and then couldn't find Alexis Cordero, which she should have there on that far side. Taken by Woodbridge. Here's Lascano. Lascano to Lisser. Lisser finds Robinson. Robinson to Aruda. Aruda to Robinson. Robinson, good pass in the channel to Eva Villalpando. Villalpando, Cordero. Cordero, that was a good idea. Good intervention defensively, though, by Bryant. She had to make it, or Pilitary could have been gone with Chinanovic. That's better now. Here's North Toronto coming forward. Misplay by Genova, and Genova might get a caution here. So a free kick here for North Toronto. Elise Bell getting a few fouls on her. It's a good delivery. Woodbridge looking away, though. Chinanovic could be gone on this near side. Here's Olivia Pilitary. Finds Maya Chinanovic. Chinanovic now. Cutting in. Looking for Cordero. Will lay it off to Olivia Pilitary. Pilitary shooting. It's carrying. And it's punched over top of the goal by Pennington. Olivia Pilitary, something from nothing, almost creating magic on her right boot as she was looking for a brace in the 35th minute of play. So here comes the aforementioned substitution. Talia Salvador will be entering the match for the player who got the yellow card in Paige Bryant. So Salvador in, Bryant out for North Toronto, the first substitution of the match for either side. Here's a corner kick. Ava Villapando in swinger. It could be dangerous. That's off of the head of Aruda and into touch for a North Toronto goal kick. 35 minutes in, you're watching League One Ontario Women's U20 Summer Division in the championship final match. Woodbridge Strikers are up 1-0 over the North Toronto Nitros, courtesy of a goal from Olivia Pelletieri. It was a fantastic goal from Woodbridge's number 17. And that's where we stand right now, as the 17-year-old strikes for Woodbridge. And could that be the most important goal of the day in this final? Good ball. Lisser. Here's Woodbridge now coming. Has Chinanovic. Found by Lupinacci. Here's Chinanovic taking her man on. Looking for the 1-2. Villapando. It's Lupinacci blocking the clearance, and it'll come right to the keeper in Paisley Pennington. She'll lay it off quickly for Salvador. Salvador going long. It's a beautiful switch of play. And here come North Toronto forward with one long ball from Salvador. Now another long ball, but it was poor that time, as Ashley Greco couldn't connect with Elise Bell. Woodbridge 1, North Toronto, no score. Both teams getting chances. I have a feeling, though, if it's going to be anyone for North Toronto getting the equalizer, it could be the Premier Division caliber player in Elise Bell, and there she is trying to get to the ball. And now Tamara Lisser clears it. Here is the aforementioned Bell. Elise Bell driving, cutting back, falling, then picking it back up, centering pass to the area, toe poke in, and Volpe goes down easily, and she'll hang on to it for Woodbridge. A chance there that they couldn't get a full complement of the shot was Sienna Saluri. Here's Volpe, who had a short play. She goes long with it, finds Chinanovic. Touch back to Aruda. Aruda to Chinanovic. Here comes the youngster, Maya Chinanovic. Here's Cordero. Here's Chinanovic. Good through ball from Cordero. Chance here for Woodbridge to double the tally. Centering ball is a good one. Backspin. Cordero off the volley. She'll control it instead. Smart play. And then she'll go to Aruda. Jade Aruda. She'll go for a crack on goal, and Pennington will come out to claim easily. Long ball now. Here is Robinson. Backspin might help North Toronto. Instead, Woodbridge controlling. And here's Ava Villapando. Villapando to Maya Chinanovic. Chinanovic back to Jade Aruda. Aruda. Chinanovic. 1-2 now looking with Villapando. The Philippine international looking to thread the needle through to Olivia Pelletieri. She could have controlled that time. Cordero could get it. And now there's room for Elise Bell. You don't want to give her acres of space here. Here is Bell driving right down Main Street. She's going to keep the ball. And a big tackle there from Tamara Lisser. Good back heel touch. Here is Ava Villapando, the catalyst for Woodbridge. Villapando has Chinanovic. Finds her now down the near flank. Here's Maya Chinanovic onto it. She'll fake the cross. Now she'll take her man 1v1. She finds room. It's brilliant. Chinanovic centering. Blocked, and it's kept in, but aerial into the penalty area. Header down. And easy for the keeper, Pennington, as that was headed down by Brooklyn Lupinacci. One 0 Woodbridge. 40 minutes into this championship match for the League One Ontario U20 Summer Division. The men's match between London and Woodbridge from the U20s taking place at 7 p.m. here at this same stadium, ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center. That's a collision there as Maya Ruby Magic gives a bit of a hit in the midsection of Brianna Lascano for Woodbridge. More of a wind knocked out of you type of feeling. She'll be okay as we approach 4 minutes remaining, plus any added time at the end of the first half. Woodbridge the advantage thus far. Camara Lisser over the free kick. She's got a long bomb. She'll go right down Main Street looking for someone to jump onto the ball. Here is Lisser. Good ball. Chance here for Woodbridge shooting! And it goes just over top of the goal from Brooklyn Lupinacci. Salvador switches play. Here's Magic. Greco. Magic. Now to Salvador. Heavy first touch. Lost it. Villapando's gone. If Chenanovic finds her, there's acres of space here for Ava Villapando. What can the Philippine international scoundrel up here forward on the counterattack for Woodbridge? She'll find that ball looking for Cordero. Couldn't. Now off the midsection of Chenanovic, and not the greatest of balls that time inside from Villapando, looking for a play. Chenanovic working back. Outside of the boot pass. Here is Robinson. Robinson will go to Volpe. And Volpe goes long. The captain looking for it. And a good, Kazan looking for it. And Aruda, good intervention. Here's Chenanovic. Maya Chenanovic. Looking, taking on. Here's the speed coming in. Lost it. Cordero regains it back to Chenanovic. It's good work from Alexis Cordero. Right place, right time. Here's Chenanovic. Trying to take her man on again. Here we go. A nutmeg. Then falling down, wanting a foul. It's not coming. That's a long ball from Kazam, and that's not going to be good enough to connect. Robinson's got a shield. She will. And into touch for a Woodbridge goal kick as we approach the 44th minute. 1+ added time in this first half and this final. Lisser's going to go long with the goal kick. Julia Casina onto it. She finds Elise Bell, the all-dangerous Bell. She doesn't need much room. She drops off the pass. Now centering. Aruda's got to deal with it. She does. Now controlled by the captain, McMullen. That's brilliant. Here's Kazam. Kazam's got space here. Kazam looks to maybe shoot. She'll lay it off instead. Casina. Julia Casina. Good intervention by the strikers. And here's Cordero. Cordero gets tackled neatly by Maya Russell. And here's Bell. Casina. Julia Casina, hot pass there as she was trying to pick out a man on the far side. Couldn't connect that time. And there will be 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. So, 2 minutes of additional time here. Basically for the cooling break. And a sub. And Woodbridge with the advantage now. Can they keep that advantage heading into the halftime interval? I would say Woodbridge has been the better team, not by much. North Toronto has been probing, but also a little bit lackluster defensively at times. Backheel pass from Cordero. Woodbridge looking to drive. Goes all the way back to the keeper in Pennington. And she'll go long. Looking for Kazam. That's kept in. Jananovic looking to get it back as she forces Kazam back. It's a good pass, though, to the captain, McMullen. McMullen. Across to Russell. Russell goes all the way across. Looking for a play forward are the Nitros, but they'll just be forced to go back. Less than a minute remain in this first half. Chance here for North Toronto at the death of the half. An opportunity now. Can Greco keep it in? No, she can't. That'll be a Woodbridge throw deep in the Woodbridge final third. And it's halftime. So, at the end of the first half, it's the Woodbridge Strikers 1, North Toronto Nitros 0. As you're watching League One Ontario YouTube channel for the League One Ontario Under 20 Women's Summer Division Championship match. I'm Nicholas Fury, commentator for League One Ontario, bringing you this play-by-play. It's a pleasure in doing so live from the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Centre Stadium in Woodbridge, Ontario. We'll see you very shortly in about 15 minutes or so for second half action in the U20 Women's Championship match. It's Woodbridge Strikers 1, North Toronto no score. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll see you very shortly.
Dear supporters, you know who you are and where you come from. Local, passionate, undeniably Canadian. You are the soul, heartbeat, substance, community. This is for you with gratitude. Made in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. So go forth, grow your ranks, and get stuck in.
The biggest moments in Canadian soccer stream on One Soccer. Men's and women's national teams, TELUS Canadian Championships, Canadian Premier League.
It is absolute bedlam at the ground.
The biggest stage, the fiercest battles. Plus, get pre- and post-match analysis and all the highlights anytime. Because wherever you go, One Soccer goes with you. One Soccer, the home of Canadian soccer. Start streaming at onesoccer.ca. For too long, we've been told that greatness comes from somewhere else. Sorry, that ends now. We are the Canadian Premier League, proudly built for you and by you across this sovereign land, ready to take on the beautiful game on our terms. We may be young, but give us time and underestimate us at your peril. We'll keep grinding until everyone knows exactly who we are. Rosters filled with homegrowns, Canadian kids who just needed a chance, with dreams as vast as our horizons, made right here in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. We are the Canadian Premier League. Get stuck in.
Sorry now, I'm good.
Think back to when Canada was a soccer country without its own league, without a place to develop and showcase our own players, or a space where fans could sing their songs and hold their scarves high and show their true colors in their own hometowns. Getting the Canadian Premier League off the ground had to happen for Canada to co-host the 2026 World Cup. But the time was right for the sport and for the country. What's happened since is proof. 8 Canadian teams with passionate supporters playing the world's game and punching far above their weight. There have been a few bumps along the way, including a global pandemic on the eve of the second season. But while some larger sports organizations shut down entirely in the face of COVID, the CPL found a way to play on with the innovative Island Games. When the world got back to normal, CPL supporters returned to the stands, and wave upon wave of young Canadian players began to make their mark. Despite its short history and modest origins, the CPL was not to be underestimated. Consider some recent history. Last year, 2 CPL teams beat MLS teams. The huge disparity in payroll didn't matter when it came to what happened on the pitch. And then, in the first months of 2025, reigning CPL champs Cavalry FC made history, beating Pumas, one of the traditional Big Four in Mexico's Liga MX, in the CONCACAF Champions League. Those were remarkable team achievements that were mirrored on the player side, where CPL alumni have been steadily moving up the international ranks. There's Brampton's Kwesi Poku, who last season went from Forge FC to Belgium's RWD Molenbeek for a CPL record transfer fee, and soon after became the latest present or former CPL player to be capped with Canada's men's national team. And then there's brilliant young keeper Emil Gazdov, who joined Pacific FC as a 16-year-old and this year signed with CF Montreal of MLS and joined their first team. There will be more, many more, where they came from. Canadian talent nurtured right here at home. And now, Season 7 is set to kick off, with the World Cup a little more than a year away. It couldn't be more clear. This is our country. This is our game. And this is our league.
Dear supporters, you know who you are and where you come from. Local, passionate, undeniably Canadian. You are the soul, heartbeat, substance, community. This is for you with gratitude. Made in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. So go forth, grow your ranks, and get stuck in.
The biggest moments in Canadian soccer stream on One Soccer. Men's and women's national teams, TELUS Canadian Championships, Canadian Premier League.
It is absolute bedlam at the ground.
The biggest stage, the fiercest battles. Plus, get pre- and post-match analysis and all the highlights anytime. Because wherever you go, One Soccer goes with you. One Soccer, the home of Canadian soccer. Start streaming at onesoccer.ca. For too long, we've been told that greatness comes from somewhere else. Sorry, that ends now. We are the Canadian Premier League, proudly built for you and by you across this sovereign land, ready to take on the beautiful game on our terms. We may be young, but give us time and underestimate us at your peril. We'll keep grinding until everyone knows exactly who we are. Rosters filled with homegrowns, Canadian kids who just needed a chance, with dreams as vast as our horizons, made right here in Canada, for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. We are the Canadian Premier League. Get stuck in.
Sorry now, I'm good.
Think back to when Canada was a soccer country without its own league, without a place to develop and showcase our own players, or a space where fans could sing their songs and hold their scarves high and show their true colors in their own hometowns. Getting the Canadian Premier League off the ground had to happen for Canada to co-host the 2026 World Cup. But the time was right for the sport and for the country. What's happened since is proof. 8 Canadian teams with passionate supporters playing the world's game and punching far above their weight. There have been a few bumps along the way, including a global pandemic on the eve of the second season. But while some larger sports organizations shut down entirely in the face of COVID, the CPL found a way to play on with the innovative Island Games. When the world got back to normal, CPL supporters returned to the stands, and wave upon wave of young Canadian players began to make their mark. Despite its short history and modest origins, the CPL was not to be underestimated. Consider some recent history. Last year, 2 CPL teams beat MLS teams. The huge disparity in payroll didn't matter when it came to what happened on the pitch. And then, in the first months of 2025, reigning CPL champs Cavalry FC made history, beating Pumas, one of the traditional Big Four in Mexico's Liga MX, in the CONCACAF Champions League. Those were remarkable team achievements that were mirrored on the player side, where CPL alumni have been steadily moving up the international ranks. There's Brampton's Kwesi Poku, who last season went from Forge FC to Belgium's RWD Molenbeek for a CPL record transfer fee, and soon after became the latest present or former CPL player to be capped with Canada's men's national team. And then there's brilliant young keeper Emil Gazdov, who joined Pacific FC as a 16-year-old and this year signed with CF Montreal of MLS and joined their first team. There'll be more, many more, where they came from. Canadian talent nurtured right here at home. And now, Season 7 is set to kick off, with the World Cup a little more than a year away. It couldn't be more clear. This is our country. This is our game. And this is our league.
Dear supporters, you know who you are and where you come from. Local, passionate, undeniably Canadian. You are the soul, heartbeat, substance, community. This is for you with gratitude, made in Canada for all the world to see. Season 7 is here, so go forth, grow your ranks, and get stuck in.
The biggest moments in Canadian soccer stream on One Soccer. Men's and women's national teams, TELUS Canadian Championships, Canadian Premier League.
It is absolute bedlam at the ground.
The biggest stage, the fiercest battles. Plus, get pre- and post-match analysis and all the highlights anytime. Because wherever you go, One Soccer goes with you. One Soccer, the home of Canadian soccer. Start streaming at onesoccer.ca. For too long, we've been told that greatness comes from somewhere else. Sorry, that ends now. We are the Canadian Premier League, proudly built for you and by you across this sovereign land, ready to take on the beautiful game on our terms. We may be young, but give us time and underestimate us at your peril. We'll keep grinding until everyone knows exactly who we are. Rosters filled with homegrowns, Canadian kids who just needed a chance, with dreams as vast as our horizons, made right here in Canada, for all the world to see. Season 7 is here. We are the Canadian Premier League. Get stuck in.
Sorry now, I'm dreaming.
Think back to when Canada was a soccer country without its own league, without a place to develop and showcase our own players, or a space where fans could sing their songs and hold their scarves high and show their true colors in their own hometowns. Getting the Canadian Premier League off the ground had to happen for Canada to co-host the 2026 World Cup. But the time was right for the sport and for the country. What's happened since is proof. 8 Canadian teams with passionate supporters playing the world's game and punching far above their weight. There have been a few bumps along the way, including a global pandemic on the eve of the second season. But while some larger sports organizations shut down entirely in the face of COVID, the CPL found a way to play on with the innovative Island Games. When the world got back to normal, CPL supporters returned to the stands, and wave upon wave of young Canadian players began to make their mark. Despite its short history and modest origins, the CPL was not to be underestimated. Consider some recent history. Last year, 2 CPL teams beat MLS teams. The huge disparity in payroll didn't matter when it came to what happened on the pitch. And then, in the first months of 2025, reigning CPL champs Cavalry FC made history, beating Pumas, one of the traditional Big Four in Mexico's Liga MX, in the CONCACAF Champions League. Those were remarkable team achievements that were mirrored on the player side, where CPL alumni have been steadily moving up the international ranks. There's Brampton's Kwesi Poku, who last season went from Forge FC to Belgium's RWD Molenbeek for a CPL record transfer fee, and soon after became the latest present or former CPL player to be capped with Canada's men's national team. And then there's brilliant young keeper Emil Gazdov, who joined Pacific FC as a 16-year-old and this year signed with CF Montreal of MLS and joined their first team. There will be more, many more, where they came from. Canadian talent nurtured right here at home. And now, Season 7 is set to kick off, with the World Cup a little more than a year away. It couldn't be more clear. This is our country. This is our game. And this is our league.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Center Stadium. I'm Nicholas Fiore, commentator for League One Ontario, bringing you this action live on the League One Ontario YouTube channel for this League One Ontario Women's Under-20 Summer Division Championship match. The Woodbridge Strikers are up 1-0 over the North Toronto Nitros, courtesy of a goal in the 25th minute by Olivia Pilateri. And that's where we stand as we are about to begin the second half. Here we go. The second half underway. And it is Woodbridge currently in the driver's seat. Now, can they hang on for the 45 minutes? Can they be the team to raise the trophy at the end of this one this afternoon? North Toronto, as they did in the first half, controlling the majority of the possession to start the halves. Here's Chinanovic. Chinanovic shooting for Woodbridge. That's blocked. Taken. Lupinacci. Oh, that's a good move. Well, that's Genova. I should say Cassandra Genova. Woodbridge now. Looking to possess. 1-2 combination. Lupinacci. Now here's the goal scorer. Pilateri. Loose ball. Pilateri just goes back to find Tamara Lisser. Robinson swings to Aruda. Magic now on the near side. This North Toronto side have to do whatever they can. That shot there off the crossbar. Opportunity goes begging. A big, big chance for this North Toronto side. Substitute is in Maria Anibale. And that's way better from North Toronto to capitalize. Off the woodwork, then cleared to touch for a North Toronto corner kick. An opportunity goes begging there. Delivery in, comes to the edge of the area, and Pilateri's just going to toe poke it away.
Toronto at the half. Number 45, Victoria Fudor, and number 9, Maria Anibale entering the match. Number 52, Amelia Casson, and number 59, Sienna Saluri exit.
Woodbridge have to make sure they're staying switched on here, because now the opportunities have to come from this North Toronto side. They really don't have a choice in order to do so. They need to press, and they need the equalizer. So some substitutions at the half. Annabella Salvador in for North Toronto. Marissa Crane in for Woodbridge. Foul called there on the strikers, and as we are 5 minutes in to this second half, it's still a 1-0 Woodbridge lead. Here is Chinanovic. Maya Chinanovic wheeling and dealing in the center of the park. Then finds Jade Aruda on the far side. Aruda. Good first touch there. Then cuts in looking for a play. She finds Chinanovic. Chinanovic. Lupinacci. Villapando. Villapando layoff to Marissa Crane. Crane in swinging delivery. Cut back. Now finds Villapando. Villapando will go low with it. Shot comes in. And it's a roller there from Brooklyn Lupinacci. Chance goes begging, but that's better for the Woodbridge Strikers here in the second half. Here comes Elise Bell. Bell through, looking for Annabale. Taken by Villapando. Villapando now to Genova. Genova back in the middle of the park. Finding Lascano. Lascano to Lisser, and Tamara Lisser goes out to Jade Aruda. Here's Aruda. Finds the substitute, Marissa Crane. She goes 1-2 combination with Chinanovic. And Aruda gets that ball away. And here is the Strikers coming forward here. Piliteri, the goal scorer, lays it off. Lupinacci shooting! Off the bar. The woodwork is Pennington's best friend. And that ball stays out. A chance for Woodbridge. Looking to double their tally. Here's Chinanovic now. She shoots, and she couldn't get a full compliment that time, and it goes wayward. So both teams hitting the woodwork off the crossbar, and a chance there for Woodbridge to maybe slowly put this one out of reach for North Toronto. A chance goes begging off the woodwork. Here is Elise Bell. Good intervention by Cassandra Genova. Now here is Lisser. Lisser, flick forward. Another flick forward. Can she keep it in? That goes out at the touch. Lupinacci has to drop for Tamara Lisser. She wins the ball. Here's Maya Chinanovic. Chinanovic gets his shirt pulled. She lays it off for Olivia Piliteri. Piliteri for her brace, shooting right into the hands of Paisley Pennington. It's all Woodbridge now on the offensive strike. Greco with it. Annabale looking for Bell. Good intervention by Tamara Lisser. And here comes Woodbridge's Brooklyn Lupinacci. Lupinacci with some real estate here. Lupinacci still with it. Lupinacci, what is she going to do? She's going to try to cut in. She wants the foul. There was at least 2 or 3 there, not getting it. And here's Ava Villapando with a pullback. And now both coaches and both fans and players' sides going wild here as the tensions are rising. Ava Villapando with the pullback. I think she might have gotten away with not getting a caution on Caitlin Yip. I agree with the head coach for North Toronto in Dale O'Brien. I believe that should have been a caution there. It's a cynical pullback there on the counterattack run of play. Foul called anyways, and here's the Nitros now controlling. Here's Magic. Looking and finding back to Russell.
Brooklyn, on your right, Brooklyn!
Here's Magic. Ruby Magic dancing, now shooting. That's deflected. Volpe's got to come aggressive. She doesn't get there. Here's Annabale. Goes back, and then Woodbridge clearing lines. That goes out of the stadium with that clearance. Jessica Gucciardi entering the match moments away for Woodbridge. Lupinacci back heel goes out of play around Kazam. Ball coming in, shot! Oh, it's wayward, and that was the chance for an equalizer. That should have gone in from Maria Annibale. A chance goes begging there for North Toronto, and a substitution coming up for Woodbridge now in the 57th minute. Looks like exiting the match is going to be number 12, Brooklyn Lupinacci, and entering the match will be number 3, Jessica Gucciardi. So Gucciardi in, Lupinacci out for Woodbridge. Just fresh legs down the flank. Here's Magic. She'll go back with it to Russell. Russell goes long. It looks offside, and it is, as Greco didn't hold the line. One 0 Woodbridge. 58 minutes into the match. Here's Neruda to Marissa Crane. Crane, Piliteri, 1-2 combination, but Crane couldn't keep it in.
Screen, 116. Yes.
Throw in taken by the Nitros, controlled by Maya Robinson for Woodbridge. She finds Jade Aruda. Aruda goes long. Good touch there by Chinanovic. She then finds Villapando. Ava Villapando. It's a decent ball in. Chinanovic leaves it. Comes to Elise Bell instead, who's clears. Doesn't pass the final third, though, as Gucciardi now's onto it for Woodbridge. Gucciardi drives. Bell tracks. She's onto it now for North Toronto. Elise Bell. Looking forward. She loses it to Piliteri. Over the Piliteri. Drops it off. Chinanovic couldn't get onto it. Genova. In the middle of the park. It's great from Woodbridge here. Brianna Lascano finds Aruda. Aruda looking for a delivery. And it's wayward into the hands. That's a error there from the Woodbridge right back. You don't want to give it away after such good build-up, such good press, and then a opportunity coming into no fruition. North Toronto go long. Here's Aruda. Aruda lost the battle, got crossed up in two worlds there, what to do. And she goes right from behind on Annibale, and that's always going to be a foul on Aruda. She lost the battle, and then a poor decision to go through the backside of the substitute striker, Maria Annibale, who has given North Toronto some life offensively in this second half. For Manuel, free kick. It comes, and Chinanovic is the one who does block that in the wall with Marissa Crane. Shot comes in wide, and that play from the coaches worked perfectly, as if Chinanovic wasn't there, that ball could have went through. She was the last one that comes to the wall. A two-man wall, and it worked. It was a good ball forward by North Toronto, as Victoria Theodore was looking for it, but pushed away into the touch by Tamara Lisser. Good turn from the Nitros. Here's Greco trying to thread the needle through to Anibale. That comes back to Magic. Magic. Good intervention by Cassandra Genova. Then she gives it away. And then that's a handball on North Toronto's Greco. Ashley Greco that time couldn't control cleanly. Here's Lisser with the free kick going backwards to the keeper, Angela Volpe. 62 minutes in. 28 remain plus added time. Woodbridge are close. Not close enough to raising a trophy here this season. Woodbridge hasn't had League One trophies in a while. They want to change the script this weekend. Filipando, good ball. It bounces, and Pennington's there to catch it. Here's Elise Bell. Bell playing it across. And North Toronto looking to control here, looking to set the tempo. McMullen. The captain trying to maneuver here. Substitute. Salvador. Looking for the ball. Headed away by Lisser. Controlled now by Greco. Greco looking. Finding Yeep. Aruta's on her. No foul. Back to the captain, McMullen. We'll go all the way back to Russell. Russell going long. Switch of play finds Marissa Crane, who will give that back to the North Toronto captain. Headers aside, and then Villapando goes long with it. Pilateri's going to put some pressure on her. Salvador. Russell. Russell goes long. Villapando on the bounce. Headers it down. Controlled by McMullen. A pair of substitutes coming up now for Woodbridge. Looks like number 13 and number 4 entering. For Woodbridge, number 4, Kayla Udenberg. And number 13, Camila Adram. Shot coming in from Woodbridge wide of the mark. So Udenberg and Adram coming into the match for the Woodbridge Strikers in moments time. Here's Elise Bell. Bell's got some space here. She cuts in. Then she finds Ashley Greco. Greco looking to lay it off. She finds Anibale now on the right side. Good play from Jessica Gucciardi. Rubbing her man off the ball neatly. Here's Gucciardi again. Lost it though. Bell delivery blocked by Lisser and out for a North Toronto corner kick.
Let's go defend it tomorrow.
Brooklyn Lupinacci is going to re-enter the match for Woodbridge. You can do that in the U20s. It's not when you're substituted, then you can't go back in. Now a corner kick from Julia Casina. She'll go short. Interesting. That's a good delivery, though, for the Nitros. That's kicked away by Woodbridge. Here is Julia Casina's in. Volpe's got to be aggressive. She's not. And it's header just wide. A misplay from the Woodbridge keeper. And it goes out into touch for a Woodbridge goal kick as the Strikers get away with it. So Cassandra Genova exits the match for Brooklyn Lupinacci. Maya Chinanovic exits the match for Camila Ajram. And it is Olivia Pilateri, right now the championship goal scorer, exits the match for Kayla Udenberg. In the 67th minute, purple change for Woodbridge. Got to get some fresh legs in there. Woodbridge steal. Lupinacci. Ajram. She now for Udenberg in the middle of the park. From Lascano. Elise Bell's got a track. She does well to do so. Here's Bell. And that goes off of Ajram for North Toronto.
Number 4.
Throw-in.
And number 12. Number 16, Olivia Pilateri. Number 16, Cassandra Genova. And number 9, Maya Chinanovic.
The referee indicates our second half cooling break here in the 68th minute. Michaela Pisani having the middle alongside Olampio Ugnote and Lucas Capicaro on the lines for this final. And this is where we stand right now in the 68th minute. It's Woodbridge 1, North Toronto 0. In the regular season, this campaign, Woodbridge defeated North Toronto 4-3 June 30th. North Toronto defeated Woodbridge 3-2 May 21st. Woodbridge finished with 10-3-1, 33-point record, second place in the U20 Northeast Division. North Toronto finished in first place, 11-2-1, 35 points. North Toronto defeated Burlington 2-1 in the semis to get to this final. Woodbridge defeated Hamilton United 5-0 to get a berth in this championship match. So far, so good for the Woodbridge Strikers as they struck early in the 25th minute, courtesy of Olivia Pilateri. And that's where we sit right now with a 1-0 Woodbridge lead. I'm Nicholas Fiore, League One Ontario commentator, bringing this play-by-play from the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Centre Stadium here in Woodbridge, Ontario. It's a pleasure in doing so. You're watching live on the League One Ontario YouTube channel for the League One Ontario Women's Under 20 Summer Division Championship match between the Woodbridge Strikers, who are leading 1-0 over the North Toronto Nitros. Ashley Greco looking for it. Tamara Lisser takes it as we resume from the water break, 70th minute. And this Woodbridge side. So Kazam is back in, and Theodore exits for North Toronto. Here's Woodbridge now. Chance here, Villapando. Woodbridge look to extend the lead. Down to Marissa Crane, looking for a delivery for the Strikers. She'll go low with it instead of an aerial into the area. And back comes Greco, but good defensive play. Robinson. Greco out and out for a Woodbridge throw-in. Magic. Decent opportunities. You know, you can see right now North Toronto are really pressing. They're probing. They're trying to find the breakthrough to equalize the match, but Woodbridge are standing so tall defensively right now. It's going to be very difficult unless they create some magic. Goes out into touch for a Woodbridge throw. This Woodbridge side just maintaining their composure. That's exactly what they want to look to do, right? They want to just maintain it, be calm, don't do anything too crazy, and within about 15, 20 minutes, you could be champions of this league in 2025. Tamara Lisser doing extremely well for Woodbridge this afternoon. She'll then lay it off. And finding Brianna Lascano. Lascano to Crane. Crane goes back to Arruda. North Toronto need to scourge up something forward. 16 minutes plus added time for an equalizer. Here is McMullen for North Toronto. Nitro's now maneuvering, looking for something forward. Good intervention by Lisser, and backwards it goes with North Toronto. Substitution coming up for the Nitros very shortly. And a goal kick being taken here by Tamara Lisser. She goes long. Elise Bell has no one on her. She gets the first touchdown. Lays it off for Ashley Greco. Gucciardi tracks, centering, and Tamara Lisser is there. Now she's got acres of space to enter. Here is Lisser. Lisser. That's the wrong ball, but it might fall for Ajam. Ajam now for Brooklyn Lupinacci. It works out for Woodbridge here. Lupinacci cuts in. Lupinacci doesn't release. She gets tracked neatly. Udenberg now. Good ball. on the outside. Ajam, Lupinacci around one. Lupinacci cuts. And she looks to toe poke it off. Ottenberg, weak first touch that time. It's loose and it's down. A chance here. On the run. Robinson gets beat. An opportunity. Volpe's got to come. And a volley shot. Saved by Angela Volpe. A big moment in the game in the 77th minute as the substitute Maria Annibale absolutely beaten the center back Maya Robinson in a race for the ball. Angela Volpe had to challenge, or else it could have been an equalized goal. Here comes Woodbridge now. The striker shooting, and Ajam easy there for the keeper. That could have been the break that the Nitros needed and wanted. They got it. The speed game was no match for Maya Robinson as Annibale was gone. But Volpe had to come and challenge to keep it out to cut the angle. Big moment in the match here in this championship match. 77 minutes in, 1-0 Woodbridge. Long ball now, and looks like Saluri is going to enter for North Toronto. So entering the match is number 59, Sienna Saluri, and exiting the match, number 58, Caitlin Neep. Annibale to Greco. That's Saluri now, I should say. Saluri tries to find Greco. She can't keep it in. "1-0 Woodbridge as time ticks away for the Nitros. Now it's all about hanging on for the Strikers. Leaves Bell onto it. Can she create the magic? That's going to be a foul on Lupinacci. Dangerous opportunity now for North Toronto. Ashley Greco, I should say, 81 minutes into the match. North Toronto craving the equalizer. Can they get it late then shock Woodbridge? The ball's in. It goes all the way and out with Woodbridge and Neva Villapando. Right to the captain, Mick Mullen now. Mick Mullen, good ball to Bell. Good intervention by Jessica Gucciardi. Gucciardi doing well, riding the challenge of Elise Bell. She finds Ava Villapando. Villapando, you got to move it. She lost it.
Good, Maya. Go organize.
That goes into touch for a Woodbridge, for a North Toronto throw-in with Elise Bell. Bell goes backwards to Magic.
Wait, was it you or No, I want you to tell me whether or not it was you. You go first, and I go, huh? Someone. Okay, well, you cooked. Like, today is mint.
Caution coming up. Looks like to Woodbridge assistant coach.
Didn't see that.
So Woodbridge assistant coach Michael Staltieri with the caution in the 83rd minute. I'm sure he will graciously take that if it leads to a trophy in 8 to 10 minutes' time. Here's Elise Bell. Bell driving. Bell is in. The big touch, though, is out into touch for a goal kick. A chance for Elise Bell. She's trying so hard to probe forward for North Toronto. But it just isn't clicking right now for the Nitros. Lisser goes long. It's a good ball to Brooklyn Lupinacci. Lupinacci, a flick on her. That's off of Magic. Into touch for a Woodbridge throw-in. Gucciardi with the throw-in for Woodbridge. That goes long, and now it's Lisser onto it. Tamara Lisser drops it off, and it's given away. That's not the greatest by Lisser that time, as she was looking for Loscano. That's given away. Ajam to Loscano. Loscano's got to move forward with it. You have Viola Pando in the channel. She finds her. Now lays it off to Loscano. There's room. Looking for a through ball, and that's an error there from Brianna Loscano. Had options as we approach 5 minutes plus added time. Magic. Back to the keeper, Pennington. Pennington goes forward to Salvador. North Toronto on a last lifeline here, looking for the late equalizer. Here's Salvador. She goes long, looking for Anibale. She's been a threat for North Toronto since entering the match in the second half. Going around Robinson. Robinson regains it. Now it's back with Anibale. She drops it off. Good movement there from Julia Casina. Casina now drops it. Delivery coming into the edge of the area, taken by Woodbridge's Ajam. Good toe poke forward and a chance for a counterattack. Here's Loscano. Beautiful play. Cuts it back to Brooklyn Lupinacci. Lupinacci driving on Elise Bell. And the veteran there will get it then. Oh, it's a bad challenge from Lupinacci on Bell. Right from behind, and she tramples over Bell, as Elise Bell is frustrated now. Elise Bell frustrated, and honestly, I would have to agree with her. She's been getting tackled all afternoon long, and Lupinacci has been getting away with a few of them, getting called, but not a caution. As the 05 has been working hard, and now I'm sure there's going to be a caution coming to the North Toronto head coach. Now a yellow card goes to the head coach, Dare O'Brien, for North Toronto. Oh, and there's the red. He said something as he was done, and there's the red card. So a red card to North Toronto head coach in the 87th minute. Sarah Donato is going to take over as head coach for the remaining minutes. Can North Toronto scourge something late? The head coach, Dale O'Brien, 2 yellow cards and a red card for a dismissal. A chance here for North Toronto. Wouldn't this be something for their head coach if they get something late? No matter when and no matter the fashion. But Woodbridge looked to clear. It's all about the strikers hanging on 3+ minutes. Woodbridge forward. Villapando, can she get a touch on? Instead, it's Maya Russell who finds Salvador. Salvador. Looking for a chance here for North Toronto Magic. Magic. Now Volpe will grab it and will take her time as we approach 88.5. It is close for Woodbridge. Can they get their first trophy in the League One period for their club? As it's been a while since 2021, the Women's Premier Division, led by head coach Dave Porco, goalkeeper of the year Vanessa Fiore. In 2021, winning the Premier Division Championship. That was the last League One trophy for Woodbridge. Here is Marissa Crane. Can she ice it here? Crane, the shot! Pennington to stop the rebound. Lupinacci! Crane! She looking to release. It's all over. Crane shoots. Score! Ice, baby! In the 90th minute, the Woodbridge strikers strike the left boot into the left corner from Marissa Crane, and it's a Crane-like triumph for Woodbridge as the strikers are up 2-0 in the U20 Women's Summer Division Championship Final. Too much for the Nitros, but it was the occasion for Woodbridge, and it's the occasion that they are going to lift a trophy in 2025. A caution to someone on the Woodbridge bench for the celebration, and the strikers have only minutes until they raise a trophy in 2025. It will be their first trophy since the Women's Premier Division in 2021 in the League One Ontario Pyramid. Marissa Crane with the second goal for Woodbridge. And now there's 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes for Woodbridge to lift the U20 crown in the Women's Division in League One Ontario. Long ball for the strikers. It's all about ticking the precious seconds off the clock. And entering the match shortly will be a defender, Annie Emilia Palladino for Woodbridge. And exiting the match will be Eva Villapando. Ajam with the foul. Substitution coming up. So Villapando out for Palladino. An attacker out for a defender. As Woodbridge are looking to hang on, there is 4 minutes to play. At the minimum. Long delivery. Volpe's got to be active. She is. And she grabs that one. Last second does the Woodbridge keeper. Looking to preserve the clean sheet. The occasion just a little bit too big, it seems to be, for North Toronto. And it was always Woodbridge's afternoon. You saw it. You saw it in the play. You saw it in the fight. And for Woodbridge, they have 3 minutes go. So with the celebration, backup goalkeeper number 1, Alyssa Stalteri, gets a yellow card for Woodbridge. That goes out for a goal kick, but precious seconds ticking off the clock here for Woodbridge. The celebrations are on hold until another 2 minutes or so, but with a 2-goal lead, it could be the Strikers that get this. Here's Ajam with the steal. North Toronto do not look threatening forward. They need something forward, but right now they can't get it. Past half, here they come. The ball goes through, but it's into an open area and out for a Woodbridge throw. We are into the final minute of the 5 additional added. And Woodbridge are seconds away from raising the first trophy for the club in the League One Ontario Pyramid since the Women Premier Division team did it in 2021. Could this be a weekend of triumph for Woodbridge? They are right now starting on the right track. Please, Bell. Bell. Driving on the near side. Trying to cut in. She wants the foul. Doesn't earn it. She'll still be onto it. Here's Greco. Ashley Greco. The delivery's a good one. It drops at the edge of the area. Cleared. And here's Ajam now. Going long. Brian comes. Or that's Magic now as Brian came back into the mix. Here's McMullen. Trying to thread the through ball through to Salvador. Salvador, last chance to get into the area. Salvador does. Looking. The ricochet. Robinson looks to clear. And now Woodbridge look to clear forward. Good play by Lascano. And Lupinacci just says, I want this ball gone. And it's only seconds away. Here as the keeper Pennington gets it. Time ticks. Off the clock for North Toronto, where Woodbridge look for triumph. Pennington forward to Salvador. Salvador. Looking forward. Shot comes in! Off the top of the bar for North Toronto to almost make things interesting late. They've struck the bar twice this afternoon. Woodbridge have struck it once, but they've also struck 2 in the back of the net. And the Strikers are moments away from winning the U20 Women's Division in League One Ontario in 2025. Looks like referee Michaela Pisani is gearing up to blow this game dead. And there it is. The Woodbridge Strikers are champions of the League One Ontario U20 Summer Women's Division after they win 2-0 with goals from Olivia Pillateri in the 25th minute and Marissa Crane in the 91st minute. They ice it, they celebrate, and they are triumph victors over North Toronto 2-0, winning the first trophy of a possible 4 this year in the League One Ontario Pyramid for the Woodbridge Strikers Soccer Club. Woodbridge, from the bridge, across the street from Vaughan Grove, defeat North Toronto 2-0, a clean sheet fashion for Angela Volpe and the Strikers, and a trophy for the Woodbridge Strikers Soccer Club in this U20 Women's Division in League One Ontario. You can feel the vibe from the Triple Azzurri Blue, where the Women's Premier Division are in flux and looking to regroup for next year. The League Two and the youth in the U20 are at a high level, and the level is a championship caliber for Woodbridge. 2-0 victors in the U20 Women's Summer Division over North Toronto, and the Strikers get the job done. Champions. And their first trophy in League One Ontario since 2021. It's been a terrific game to call. It's been a terrific afternoon, folks. As Woodbridge celebrate, we'll take you to the PA announcements, and we'll take you to the celebrations live on the League One Ontario YouTube channel. I am Nicholas Fiore, League One Ontario commentator, who will bring you the play-by-play at 7 p.m. for the Woodbridge and London U20 Men's Division Championship match. Can Woodbridge go back-to-back on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025? But for now, it's Woodbridge 2, North Toronto 0 from the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Centre Stadium in Woodbridge, Ontario. I'm Nicholas Fiore, Woodbridge commentator, League One commentator, bringing you this one. We'll take you to the PA announcements as Woodbridge are champions of the League One Ontario U20 Summer Division. We will see you very shortly for the 7 p.m. final, and now we'll take you to the atmosphere here at the ZANCHIN Automotive Soccer Centre Stadium. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, ciao.
prove their champions